I'm not sure where I even want to go with this, but I do feel like I'm not sure where I even want to go with this, but I do feel like a lot of people I know don't know enough about Bitcoin to even buy any. And they feel I this is my perspective. I feel like they don't I feel like they don't know enough about it. So they're hesitant to buy, but they need to understand what it's about. So in this quick little video, I'm actually going to try to explain it to you on I don't know, in layman's terms, because I'm a layman. I'm not a coder. I don't, you know what I mean? So, perspective. This is my perspective. It gives us, financial freedom. It gives us ownership of property, of actual actual ownership of something, like a thought, like you actually own it. But then I hear about, them got these phones that can, steal your thoughts. But anywho, let's get back on track. Bitcoin gives you freedom in the sense of no one can take it. It doesn't devalue because of the halving. It doesn't. There's a fixed supply. There's just so many places to start. Okay, where to start from? Why it was created. Okay, back in '08, 07, '08, there was a big, there was a lot of manipulation going on in housing markets, stock markets, all that, whatever. Go watch The Big Short. It's a good movie. Recommend it. But after that, it's after that, it seemed like everyone knew what was going on, but nobody wanted to do anything about it. So I guess a group of people got together, or one person, Satoshi Nakamoto. That's what his name was. Maybe her. I don't know. And yeah, let's not get into that. But they came. They released a white paper. I believe it was 09 Halloween or the day before. I think it was Halloween. But how, you throw the message out there, and that's brilliant too, because they release it on a holiday. So that way it's imprinted in your head on a holiday to let people remember. It's easy to remember. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But anywho, white paper, a peer-to-peer network. So don't look at it as like money. Well, you could look at it as that. You could look at it as money, as property, as a store of value, flight to quality. You could look at it as a lot of things, because it is a lot of things. It's all of those things plus more. We haven't even scratched the surface on what we could do. Like literally, we just got ordinals. Ordies. If you're on that train, holy shoot. We just got ordinals to Bitcoin. So still early, man. Like I was 15 years old, just turned 15. Fuck, when I was 15, I thought I was a man, and I wasn't. Clearly, that's another story too. But yeah, a white paper 15 years ago, in '09. Was it 15 years ago? Was it? Going on 15? I don't know. I'm high anyway. Anywho, in '09 it was released, or was it '08? '08 the white paper was released, and then anywho, it's a peer-to-peer network. Yeah, skip through that a bit. And you'll notice me go on a ramble. Just skip through it a bit, and yeah, there's good parts in here. Just pick up what you want to hear, because honestly, I'm tired of saying it. This is why this will probably be the last time me talking about it, or trying to help my fellow Hugh man get free, because the digital age is coming, and there will be no freedom. There will be none. And the only way there will be freedom is through blockchain, cryptocurrencies, privacy coins too. They're gonna be huge. I don't know why this narrative isn't talked about a lot, because it should be at the start of every conversation. Privacy coins, and privacy, and what privacy depends on wherever you're at. What it will mean to you as a person, as a business, as a father, brother, son, everything. Like, we will have none. And the blockchain is pretty much the only way. Or you live off grid, you go buy some land and whatever, and go live somewhere off the grid and chill out, because it wasn't until, I don't know, about 100 years, I'd say, like, we used to live off the land. And there's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, back to Bitcoin. I can keep going on rants. It's like every 4 years there's a halving, and at the halving it produces. Okay, I got a easiest way to say this. There's a fixed supply of it as well. There's only gonna be ever 21 million Bitcoin. The thing about it is, there's a catch. They're not out yet. All of them aren't out. So the system itself, over time, releases them. It releases them. It doesn't release them all at the same time. They're every 4 years. It releases so many a day until it reaches that 21 million. When it reaches that number, it's done. And then every 4 years, the number it's been releasing, that many Bitcoin for a day, gets cut in half. You know what I mean? So you say, interesting. Because that's the human in you. Supply and demand, economics. Even if no one but the people that have Bitcoin right now, if no one else in the world jumps on the Bitcoin, if no one else, absolutely no one else, but everyone that's already in it just continues the same things that they're doing, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, holding, and everyone continues their pattern. Every halving, shouldn't the price double at least? I don't know. I'm thinking that. Like, that's just with supply and demand. It doesn't matter about, like, the volume of, because people get that trick. Oh, once it reaches a certain number, it's gonna peak. No, it's not. It's gonna take more to move it. No, it's not, because the halving is programmed in. The halving cuts it in half, so makes it half as scarce. Half. So there is no, it's going to take more money to move it. No, it's not. It's programmed in. It's doubling at least. At least. And another reason why Bitcoin, it can't be manipulated. Maybe the markets, it can be manipulated. But like, as a company, it can't be manipulated, because there's no company. The government can't strong arm a company and say, yeah, well, you got to change your code because we need to control what people are doing. They can't. They can't stop it. That's why El Salvador took it on as legal currency. That's why they're back in their country with it. That's why they're up on their investment. And Argentina's about to do the same thing. And now you got what? Max Kaiser over there. He's the Bitcoin ambassador for the country. And then you got what? The Saudi the Saudi money. That's the only way I can put it. The Saudi money. When that comes in, and that's coming in by the barrels. And I say pun intended, if you know what I mean. That's coming in by the barrels. Like for real. And Kadar said Cater, I don't know, don't want to pronounce his name wrong, but he's already looking at investing $500 billion into Bitcoin. $500 billion. The whole Bitcoin market cap is, I haven't looked at it in the last week or two, and I know it's been up. It's probably, I'd say we're up there at about 1.8. No, I'd say 2 trillion. I say 2 trillion because I'm a perma bull. Straight up. Even when we going down, I'm saying we going up. Because I think about it long term. But it's $1.2 trillion. Bitcoin's market cap is around there right now. So can somebody throw it in the comments? Because actually, I'll just look it up after this and I'll throw it in at the time of the release of this. You have Apple. Apple is the company on the stock market. Their market cap is 3 trillion. 3 trillion. And we're talking about 1 point something trillion for Bitcoin. The whole ecosystem is about $2 trillion. So that's one company on that exchange to this whole ecosystem. And you know what's crazy about this ecosystem over here? It closes at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, depending on where you're at. Why is that? Because the person or people that run it, they need to sleep. You know what I mean? They need to sleep. So they don't run it. You know? They need to look over things. They need this manipulation. I shouldn't say manipulation. I don't know what's going on. But I don't know why I can't access trades and stuff, but you can. So that's just weird. But over on this side, it's 24/7. You want to trade, trade. You want to sell, sell. You want to buy, buy. As it should be, a free market. The internet gave us access to talk to people across the world. Why can't we do business across the world like that? Why can't we do anything like that across the world? Interact with other currencies, exchange currencies. Because that's what a lot of these are going to end up being anyway, currencies. What is the currency going to be worth? I don't know. But people look at them and say that they're securities. No, a lot of them aren't. Some are. I wouldn't say all. I wouldn't even say 10% are securities. Straight up. They're currencies to me. Because it's just like going to Walmart or going to Kent and getting a Kent card. Oh, I'm going to this company, and they're giving me tokens. It's the same thing. But we spin it off of over here and say it's a security because we want to attach it to something that's over here. This stuff is brand new. That's why they say, oh yeah, there's a legal framework for it right now. There is no framework for that. Straight up. There, you can't say this is a security, that's a commodity. So none of them are securities. They're all currencies. Straight up, they're all currencies. And you're only saying that they're securities because you wanna get paid for them. Because you've been doing it over here, saying that these are securities, and you're getting paid over here for as long as you can remember, and you think it's normal. Like people sitting here running the country, but they're in debt. How can you be in charge of a country and you're in debt, and then the money is on you when you come out, like people looking at you for advice for money, but you're in debt. And it's not even like you try to get out of debt. You just keep getting in debt. Like as you sleep, you're getting in debt. So how does that even work? How does that even work as a country if as the country every second we're going in debt? A country shouldn't work like that. No country should. And Bitcoin solves that because there's a fixed supply, 21 million. Remember that. With the dollar, they can print money, print money. You think when they say, "Oh, we're giving this money over here," it gets printed, and I ain't talking about physically, but in the system, it gets printed in the system. Boom, punch in the numbers, more gets printed, more gets printed. Do you want to know what happens to something when more of it gets printed? It devalues. Unlike Bitcoin with the halving, Bitcoin gets scarcer. This is more this they're flooding with more. Now, the tricky thing about it is when you print money, when you counterfeit, or oh my bad, quantitative easing. That's what it's called if you didn't know. Quantitative easing. That's what it's called. When they're ready to print, if they say quantitative ease. Oh, actually, there's another thing they say now too. They kind of switched it up. It's like a program they designed, but it's just printing money. So they designed a program. But anywho, Bitcoin fixed supply and decreases on fixed supply at 21 million and decreases every 4 years on distributing the 21 million note. The last piece of the 21 million probably be around the year 2134 or something like that. It's up there though. So I would just probably say stack some sats. You know what I mean? Like, I don't lie, the light's a little in my eye. But what else? Like, what's another reason? I don't know. I'd say you don't need a. Another reason. I would say you don't need a bank to do a transaction. If you had the software, the other person has the software, and you have it in your wallets, then it can be done. Actually, you don't even. Yeah. Sorry, calling it software. I don't know. That's just how I see it. Sorry. If you own Bitcoin and have it in your wallet, then you can send it to someone else, and you don't have to pay half of it to. You don't have to pay half of it to the government that doesn't fix the roads that you drive on, that doesn't do anything that they're supposed to do. Just give the money away to other countries. Like, just because you stand with a country doesn't mean that you have to go broke for the country. You got to keep your glass full so you can, if your glass is half full, you can't give out, because you got to make sure that you're good and your people are good. And I see that a lot of countries aren't doing that. They're saying, "Oh, we stand with this country, stand with that country," and just printing money and just giving that country money, You only you're only washing the money, because when you think about it, you're giving that country the money, and then people are coming over, so you're buying people. I don't know, that's how I look at it. And that's why people say, "Oh, you're against immigrants, you're against it." No, I'm not. No, I'm fucking not at all. I welcome everyone to come, and I don't care if you come by the boatload. Listen, all the power to you if you climb the wall and beat up some alligators and whatever. However you got here, all power to you. I'm just saying, if you have the opportunity to, like, go to a fellow country where you're from and build in that country and still have your credentials, like a lot of doctors and dentists and lawyers come over here, and then they got to end up being painters, driving cabs, doing whatever, because our system doesn't fucking, excuse my language, doesn't want to recognize their skills. But yet, a neighboring country around the country you're fleeing will recognize your skills, recognize that stuff, and and you get to keep you that you've worked for your whole life. You get to keep you, what you want. Then you come over here and change everything straight up. So they're literally buying people and buying your mindset, because when you get over here, they tell you who to talk to and who not to talk to. And I'll tell you right now, I know they're telling you not to talk to me. I know they're telling you not to talk to me, but that's another story too. But anywho, way off track. Bitcoin, and it can bank the unbanked. Like literally, you could be on an island as long as you have a cell phone and a satellite connection, internet. You can get the blockchain. You don't gotta have ID. You know what I mean? Like, you don't gotta have 7 forms of ID and then the ID expires like it's made of milk or something. Like, it's crazy. This expires. It looks like me. 5 years later, still looks like me. 10 years later, still looks like me. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. They expire because that's more money going into the system that's meant to suppress you. Why do you think Bitcoin ain't as big as it should be? Don't make no sense. All these countries are going down in debt, like I said, as they breathe. Look, as we breathe, they just went in more debt, more debt, more debt, more debt. As I'm saying this, the clock, you go on the country's website, the debt clock, any country, go on the debt clock. I'd say go to America, go to Canada, go to, just go to any country's debt clock, and you'll see that they're going in debt every second. We're not. How can you be going in debt, but then say to me that I need to be producing? Producing for what? What am I producing for? A system that's about to collapse. Are you kidding me? And it's crazy because if you're in it, it's like the frog that's in the pot. And I don't even know if that's real, but the myth. You know how the story goes. They say you put a frog in a pot and then you heat up the pot slowly, and the frog will never jump out. It will just cook itself and die. Now, is that going to be like here? Because if we go into grocery stores now and all the prices, everything's going up, and we're like, oh, everything's going up, blah, blah, blah. It's not that everything's going up. Our purchasing power is going down. Our money is being worth less, because when they print here, the closer you are to the money, then the better chance that you have that your money's gonna be more strong, and I don't even mean close as in, oh, the Canadian dollar, the American dollar. I mean, you got to be in them labs with them people printing, because if you're not in the labs with them printing, then you're not getting them $5 million bonuses. You're not getting them $200,000 lunches and just, oh, here, honorarium, here, hold that. You're not getting that. We're down here at the bottom. So basically, when they print up there and they make more money, soon as they make it, the person or the people that have the least money are getting bled right out of every dollar that they have, because the value of it's going down. So the less money you have, it's like quicksand. At least if you have a lot of money, you still have time to run around and figure out what you want to do, invest it here or buy real estate, and do this, do that. But when you only have a little bit, and you need every piece of sand. You need every crumb. You're like that. Wipe them off your shirt. You need every crumb. You can't save in dollars. And that's real talk. And that is real talk. And I'm sorry because I love my country, but you can't save in dollars. You can't. You gotta have assets. That's the only way. And the thing about it is, you don't want to die without any rocks. I'm not saying Bitcoin's the way. Like, I'm not saying Bitcoin's the only way. It's a way. It's a fucking way. And it's a way if you don't want to do nothing. Like, if you don't want to do anything but just put some away, then Bitcoin's your play. Straight up. Because every 4 years they're having, like I said, if the same amount of people, if nothing changes, literally nothing, same systems, nobody jumps up and puts up any more nodes, like mine, I said no, no more miners, nothing, like nothing, just the same, everyone just dollar cost averages, or everything's automated the same. If everyone just goes the same, no more new adoption, no nothing, it will jump up during the halving. That's economics 101, supply and demand. Can't no one on this planet tell me different. I don't care any software person, any financial person that's been in this game for 40, 50, 60 fucking years. Supply and demand, the halving will snap the price double, at least double every time. Every single 4 years, the Bitcoin price will at least double. Straight up. And and I think this will be the last big run. Actually, we might have two. Because a lot of people with big money, they've had it for so long, and they might even be scared this run. So who knows? Maybe next bull run, next one, they'll just catapult the fucking loot in. Because a lot of people, once the ETFs go through. See, now I'm getting off track here. I'm supposed to be talking for the layman's, and I'm getting into the business. But yeah, and okay, think about this. You're not sure if you should invest into Bitcoin. You're not sure. You're just like, you got a couple bucks. You don't, you work hard for your money. There are people in this world that control or manage. There are people in this world that manage billionaires' monies and millionaires, their portfolios and stuff. Like there's groups that manage wealthy people's business and wealthy people's wealth. So, and they're buying Bitcoin. They're wealthy and they're buying Bitcoin. The banks, the government, the stock market, there's let's see, okay, they're all buying Bitcoin, and they're not telling us because they're sitting here saying we gotta wait until it gets, until they get a spot ETF going on the market, and it's unfair when they're all buying Bitcoin right now. They're all buying it, but they're gonna wait until they get the spot ETF, which has to be okayed by the SEC. Yeah, and there's some stuff there, but I don't want to get into none of that. But Bitcoin, and not to say I'm not a maxi, because I'm ready for this bull run. I got my other coins, I'm ready. I got a little bit of Degen in me. I got long shot plays. I got, you know what I mean? Like I'm all over the place. And but that's me. My risk tolerance is high. My risk tolerance is high. Straight up, it's high. Really high. I can watch that market drop 10 grand and not even flinch. Get excited about it and be mad because I already threw my dry powder in. But that's what it is. That's what it is because I feel like this market and the next bull. After that, after that it will only depend on the halving for the price to double. Now we're getting the super ones. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna get the big boys. We're gonna get some big candles. We're gonna get two big markets. This one could be bigger than the next one, or the next one could be bigger than this one. But this one right here will still be bigger than the last one. Just know that. People that I talking about some predictions and stuff. I can't do that, man. Like on the low end, Bitcoin for me. Now I'm going to say I'd say 200. I'd say 225K on the low end. On that's the bare end. Bare end, yeah, on the low end. On the low end, 20K. On the high end, I say 750, 800K. Not saying it's gonna last long. Not saying anything, but I am saying if this market is bigger than the next one, I see the 800K range looking pretty easy to reach. But now the problem is getting all the ones that you feel like you want people to invest in it and get out of the traditional system. But people do what we do because we're creatures of habit, and that's okay. But we're also creatures of adaptation too. Like we can adapt very well. But it's like, how do we get to the masses to get them to adapt / adopt this new way, this new investment vehicle? Because that's really, if we're still gonna be living in this world, this, like high inflation, prices up, and rents are up, groceries are up, everything's up. If we're still gonna be living like this, and we're not going to the system's not gonna increase this or do anything for our communities, then Bitcoin is the play. Because even if you're the type that just dollar cost averages at the bottom of at its low, when it's on its lows in the cycle, and then not even dollar cost average, slam the whole thing down. You could dollar cost average from the top all the way down and be up. It's been proven. So this this bull market right here, while we're going up, don't be afraid to buy, because you can buy the top, and it's been proven. But once you buy that top, you need to be buying on all the way down. So, but I don't know, man. I really love yous and I hope yous the best, but I just feel like I'd be going on and on about it. Like, but I don't want to, because that's what it is. It's everything. It's all the things you think it is, plus all kinds of other things that you didn't realize it was, plus all kinds of other things that haven't even been discovered yet. Straight up. That's how I see it. Because we won't even be talking Bitcoin here soon. We'll be just talking sats. Sats. That's how we'll be talking. I'd say in the next 40 years. Next 40 years, you hear someone has a whole Bitcoin, you're like, what the? You got a whole one? They have a whole one? Trust, man, I'm telling you. You got to think about it. 40 years. There's 52 or 56, 50, there's over 50 million millionaires in one country. No, sorry, lying. In the world, there's over 56 million. No, 50. Anywho, you get what I'm saying. There's over 50 million millionaires in the world. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. So that means if every millionaire in the world wanted one Bitcoin, they can have it. And there's people that have 1,000 of them. There's people that have 10,000 of them. Shoot, I even heard one guy named Satoshi got 1 million of them. It's crazy. I don't know. But that's all I'm saying, man. It's like, I just really hope you buy some. I don't care you buy $20. Just become part of the system. At least you have something that's, you know, if you don't own any houses, if you don't have any assets, buy Bitcoin. It's the easiest way to start investing. It's the easiest way. It's easier than going to the bank, sitting down. What do you want to get involved in? All this, all that. You Bitcoin, just buy it, hold it, and it will go up. And that's not financial advice. That's just looking at the code. And I'm not even a coder, but I understand when a program is programmed, when a software is programmed to do something, there's an order. There's a contract. There's a contract. If I do this, you do that. Simple. If this happens, this happens. Simple. And then you mix that with supply and demand, and then mixed with human emotion, and FOMO, and man, I just wish you guys jump on it. That's all I got to say.